Hi folks, Aarti here. We're talking today about another book that will be part of the Safe Spaces and Quiet Reading Nooks this November on the 19th at 5 o'clock at Pause for Perspective. So I'm holding these sessions that are once a month sessions where we hold space for each other through the use of through the medium of picture books. So this month we're going to be talking about, or we're sitting with the theme of belongingness. And the book that we are going to also include is this sweet little book about four mice. It's called Frederick. Frederick is by Leo Leone, who is the author as well as the illustrator of the book. Now, when we're talking about, the book is amazing. It's just really sweet and also quite intriguing. When we're looking and thinking about the theme of belongingness, I think one of the things that really strikes out is that there are these four little mice that are stocking up for winter. And you see that Frederick, what he is doing is actually what might appear to be chilling, right? So here's an illustration of, you see how these like busy mice, they're doing these things. They are four, and of course Frederick is the fifth one, so that it's a story about five mice, by the way. So Frederick is sitting there, and as these four mice, this is a family of five, and these four are sort of busy scuttling and making sure they're stocking up for winter. You'll see that Frederick is just sitting there, right? So let me read a little bit, and you see what we'll see what Frederick is actually doing. Frederick, why don't you work? They ask. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. I read this with my little ones, and my younger one, who was actually an intern in the Pause library, read this and just started laughing. There's more to what Frederick does. And when they saw Frederick sitting there, staring at the meadow, they said, and now, Frederick? I gather colors, answered Frederick simply. For winter is gray. Look at that. That's Frederick just sitting there, apparently gathering colors, while everybody else is sort of scuttling by. One of the cool things that came out of just reading this along with my kid is we were thinking about, well, who is this? Is Frederick, my youngest one, Neil? And then they were like, no, it's not me. I really like working. I like gathering, so maybe I'll be gathering. And then I was like, you know what? That seems like me. I really like to sit and just be. So we were kind of figuring out, well, who is Frederick? And of course, Frederick became someone else in our family at a later time. But I think it's a really sweet rendition of a story of, these family of people where, sometimes we all experience this, right? Like there is one sort of scapegoated to be, a good for nothing, a lazy person, all of that. But we see that in this story of the family of five, something really transforms, and Frederick really comes around to being there. And it happens because of these sort of pause moments that Frederick has been taking. So it's a really sweet story of belongingness. Like, do scapegoats belong in a family? Do people that feel differently, do different things, speak about feeling different, belong in a family? And what space do they have in families? I think it's this really sweet story about that. At the end of it, both my kids and I were reading about Frederick and what he does, and then we end up with this like, that seems nice, and it's quite beautiful. So obviously I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end and how Frederick comes around. I hope you come to our session on Safe Spaces and Quiet Reading Nooks to figure this out and figure this out together with a group of us who will be sitting with the idea of belonging. I'll read one last thing before before I stop for today about Frederick. And once Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" they asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh no, I'm gathering words. For the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say." Look at him gathering words. That's Frederick gathering words, looking almost sleepy. And that's the family doing all the work. I'd love for you to be present for our book reading and sitting together with this idea, this theme, this internal experience of belonging this 19th of November. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.